Hi again, it's Art with Mr. O, and we have a guest artist today. My daughter Megan is going to be showing us how to do a little extra project if you get bored or you have some time and you want to do something creative and you can't think of anything to do. This is kind of neat. It's called abstract art. Now, abstract art is just a kind of a fancy word for art that doesn't necessarily look like a certain thing, like a camel or a snake or something like that, or a house. It just is a design or something like that that's pleasing to look at. So without getting into the definition of what art is, we're going to show you a little project that you can try. And it may be fun, it may not work out, but remember, and always going to say this, practice makes better, and we're going to have fun with some art. So without further ado, here's my daughter Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan, and a couple days ago I was just making this. It's just kind of an abstract art, and one of the things I like about this is you can use it for a lot of things. You can use it for some straight edge practice, and you can really use just about whatever artistic tools you happen to have around with you. So I've got this marker, and there's some markers over here, there's some colored pencils, but even if you don't have all of that, you can do it with a pencil, a marker, really any of that. So we'll get started with, I've got this big straight edge here, but it's kind of hard to use with all the stuff already on the desk. So I'm just going to use this paint stir stick, and I'm going to start making just some vertical lines. And it's abstract, so if it's not perfect, that's fine. So I'm just, oh, Sharpie looks a little dull. I'm going to get a new Sharpie just to make a little bit better of a line. Ooh, that's a nice juicy line. There you go. So I'm just going to kind of scatter these vertical lines along the page. And your straight edge ability can really make a difference when it comes to mechanical drawing. So this is a way to just kind of not stress but practice on that. So my vertical lines are different lengths away from each other, different lengths themselves. I'll make some horizontal lines. Oh, that's what happens when you don't use a real straight edge. Fill that in a little. And I'll make some over here. Maybe one up here.
Now I notice you're not
the,
starting on a particular line, you're just kind of starting out in the middle of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, and I'll just make a loose line that's really in the middle of nowhere here, just because why not? I'll connect it over here. Oop, got a little crooked. Oh well. So when I do a design like this, I like to add just some lines, so I do have some closed boxes and some open boxes. So I'm just going to add a couple more lines for that. I'll show you kind of a fun shading thing when we get there.
So where do you mean by closed boxes? Where are some of the closed boxes that you're talking about?
So like I'd say like this is a closed box, this is a closed box, where this is a closed box, where this would be kind of a more open box. Then I've got some of these closed boxes. If you want to keep it in black and white or green and white or whatever color you're using, that's perfectly fine. If you want to add colors, we'll do that a little bit later on. But I'm just going to add some differing thickness to some of these lines, just to kind of make some of the boxes pop. I'm doing some of this with some reason and some with a little bit less. If you want to keep using your straight edge for practice, you can. If you don't want to, that's also fine. And just adding some thickness. Make some of those boxes pop. I'll make this whole line a little bit thicker, just because. And I'll add some thickness to this one. Now if you want to start adding in some lines that aren't necessarily vertical, or some dots, that's also okay too. So I'll turn this one, we'll fill in a little triangle there. And let's see. Put another line there. And a little triangle there. And I don't have a lot going on over here, so I'm going to add some dots just to kind of start tying this back into the whole piece. And if you want to add other patterns beyond triangles and dots, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes, like with this one, I find out I like some patterns more than others. Like I liked the dots. I got in with the colored pencils and started doing some shading. I don't like it that much. But you don't know what you're gonna like and not like until you try. So it's a really easy way to experiment. Adding some dots there. I want to do something over here. Yeah, I'll add a little kind of like a toothy triangle pattern. And another one of the things kind of I've figured out about this design is sometime where you don't do anything and where you leave a white and you leave it blank, that can say a lot too. And just kind of add some cleanliness to your design if that's how you're feeling. And I think it's going to look kind of neat if I just add another line right under that one. We'll see. Adding some depth. So now we'll start to add some colors. These were just colors that were available. You can color in a whole solid box. You can stripe out a box, or even stripe out a shape. So see, I kind of striped a triangle there. Just go along some of your lines. Go along this line. Add another bit under this one. And I'll start adding some purples. Purples are cool. Make this box purple. Add some dots over here. I got some, I have to go at a different angle with those dots. I think I'll just carry those along the length of this box. Got some yellows. I'm gonna take away a little of the cool color scheme there. Fill in this box with some yellow.
Yellow is a pretty powerful, bright color, isn't it?
Yeah. Some yellow in here. Add some yellow here.
When you're doing yellow, if you have used permanent marker, you can bump up against the dark colors, but if you use water-based, you want to be careful not to bump that because it'll smear.
And some over here. And you can keep going with adding different colors. You can leave it. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to show you something kind of neat with one of these colors. If I can find a colored pencil that somewhat closely matches. So, see, this isn't perfect, but it's pretty close. So I want to add some shading. I can start on the marker, and then I can start to kind of blend out to kind of make it look maybe like it's glowing. I'll add a little on the yellow, and that'll really give you a glowy effect. But I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it as well in the video, so I started with the turquoisey color. I don't know how well that's showing up. But in some of your other drawings that may or may not be abstract, you can use markers and colored pencils in combination to add this glowing effect. So you could keep going with this kind of for however you wanted, like those kind of mandala looking adult coloring books. It's just kind of soothing to do when you're bored and looking for something to do that's creative, or you need a little bit of a brain break from some of your other homework. So yep, this is that.
So that was Megan. Thank you, Megan. And remember, practice makes better. And you can try this. Experimenting is just a kind of a cool form of practice, okay? So remember, practice makes better, and have fun with your art.